Life Talks with Joe Sinatra. This is a quick message. I'm not going to be on here long. As I can see, I've been working. I just ain't been, you know, certain things have been going on, so I just haven't been feeding. I haven't been feeding the beast. I haven't been feeding the evil. How we used to say you got to take you know, you got to take away what feeds the system and what feeds the monster, right? The monster can't feed off of happiness, which is why I spread happiness. The monster can't feed off of kindness, which is why I practice my kindness instead of practicing unkindness in places where it's not necessary or it's not needed. If I want or need to practice unkindness, I save that for, you know, when I want to, you know, get into a lecture and cover a certain topic in depth, or if I'm speaking to someone on a, one-to-one basis. That's when I'll get into that stuff. But other than that, there's no need for me to taint my energy and to taint myself, or how they say, there's no need for me to get my hands dirty. And I don't need to get my hands dirty in that aspect because that would require me to lower my standards and to lower myself. So if I'm a kind person, regardless or not if I feel up to it or if I feel like myself 100%, I'm still going to be a kind person. It might not be, the happy go lucky smiles and jokes and laughs, but it'll still be kindness. It'll be a default level of kindness. It won't be a over extraordinary or extravagant type of kindness that I usually depict when I'm, at my full 100% self. So when I'm not at my full 100% self, I will still be kind, but I'm not gonna take out my energy negatively on someone else. I'm not gonna because I'm angry or I'm upset. I'm not gonna allow that to be poured over into someone else. I'm gonna take a breath and I'm gonna think and I'm gonna get back into, focusing on the path, focusing on the battle, focusing on the fact that whatever just happened or that energy that I'm feeling, it's supposed to teach me or it's supposed to benefit my strength on being kind. It's supposed to make my kindness even more kind. It's supposed to make my defensive and my boundaries even more bountiful and it's supposed to make myself even more myself. I put it in my song. I said, shit don't get easier. I get stronger. I beat the odds because the God is in me. I got some friends that was killed by the streets. I pray to God it don't happen to me, right? I say a prayer for every plate that I eat because ain't no time when I'm eating for free. And I put that in my songs, right? So whenever certain things happen or I feel like I'm getting into that negative space or I'm getting into that negative energy or I'm getting into that negative mindset, I got to realize that it's just like what I said, you know, the things aren't going to change and it's not going to get easier. So I'm going to either have to get stronger or I'm going to have to go through days or weeks or months battling whatever this obstacle is until I get strong enough to overcome it. And once I overcome it, then I realize, you get to that point where, oh, whatever I was thinking, it was a lot worse than what the actual thing was. So when you get over that obstacle, you realize how strong you are. You realize how strong you have been. And that's when I say, I don't know my strength, but I know I'm strong. So I'm going to be strong in my kindness. I'm going to be kind with my strength. I'm not going to be a fool. I'm not going to be naive. I'm going to be just. I'm not going to be nice. I'm going to be kind. I'm not going to be, a doormat where everybody could just walk all over me, but I'm going to practice kindness. Practicing kindness doesn't mean that, you let tomfoolery go all on and you let the clown show play out. No, kindness just means you understand who you are, you understand who other people are, you understand what kindness is, and you understand how kindness affects the world. and how kindness, pays a tribute to the joy and the happiness, or the lack of kindness pays a tribute to the fear and the anxiety and the hate that this world is suffering from. So I'm going to continue to be kind. So regardless of how, you know, like I said in the description, right? Regardless of how you see the world, or regardless of how you see others, it matters. And the only thing that matters is how you see yourself. And if you're a kind person, you're going to be a kind person. No matter if an asshole walks in, or an idiot walks up to you, or you're having to realize that you're having a back and forth with somebody that's illiterate, or they're not as intelligent as they seem. You still have to be kind. You don't have to be nice. You don't have to be allowing, and you don't have to be an idiot. You don't have to be naive, and you don't have to be a doormat or a pushover. You have to be kind. And in order to be kind, you have to be kind to yourself. You have to understand how to treat yourself, and you have to understand and go through the practices and the instances and the scenarios where you're kind to yourself, and not just being kind to yourself, but you're practicing kindness to yourself. You're practicing kindness, and you're showering yourself with love, and you're showering yourself with that real soulful, soul nurturing kindness that you can then feel. And once you get to that point where you can feel that thing, right? Everybody has a different it, right? So whatever your it is, and you get to that point where you feel it, you're gonna have that it, and other people are gonna see that it in you, and you're just gonna be it, right? And as you're being it, that thing is just going to be pouring out of you, right? And that's going to be showing off. That's how your body and your soul is going to be showing off. And you're going to be showing off your capabilities. You're going to be showing off your ability to not only be kind to yourself, but even if you meet 100 unkind people, or 100 people that you have to interact with, and they're all idiots, or they're all assholes, or they're all however you may depict them or see them, or they may be fit, right? You're still going to be kind. You're still going to have that smile on your face. You're still going to be, looking like you're a happy go lucky, have everything figured out. You're just loving and nurturing, and just like a flower that never goes away even when the sun don't shine, right? You blossom and you bloom, and you flourish when the sun is shining, and when the sun isn't shining, people can still look, and they can realize that there's this one flower bush, or there's this one rose bush that just doesn't close up. The petals just stay open, and they just continue to blossom and continue to bloom, no matter how dark it may get. And you'll become that light. You'll become that flower, right? But you'll also have thorns, so they have to approach you, right? Like I made that poem where I said she's sweet like a rose, right? Because you can't just go up to a rose and pull it and pluck it off of the vine. You have to actually carefully remove it, right? You have to carefully touch it, because you're going to get cut by those skin piercing thorns. So be kind to yourself. And if you're kind to yourself, you will always and already be kind to others, right? And if you're not kind to others, you need to learn how to be kind to yourself, because it's not the fact that you're unkind to others, it's the fact that you're unkind to yourself. So the more you be kind to yourself, the more you'll be able to be kind to others. And as you become kind to yourself, you'll see that when I say you have to bring heaven to hell in order to raise hell till it's heaven, right? You'll understand what I mean when I say that. And then as you exist in this world, you'll realize your power, and you'll realize the level of your rank whenever there's a situation or a scenario or instance that come along where you meet someone that you have to realize that that person is going to either get on your nerves, or annoy you, or make you mad, or make you this, or make you that. Can't nobody make you nothing. It's already inside of you. So if you're already kind and loving and happy go lucky within yourself, it might be, one of those areas where, you realize that, okay, this person is a real jerk, right? And you can't be kind to them, because no matter how much you're kind to them, they're still gonna treat you, or you know, depict unkindness, right? And uncanny behavior. So you don't have to retreat your kindness, right? You know how they say, kill them with kindness? You don't have to kill them with anything, right? You just have to let them be who they are and you continue to be who you are, right? Don't allow them to make you not be kind to them, but don't allow them to make you not be kind to yourself, right? You don't have to be kind to them, but don't stop being kind to yourself. Don't stop smiling, right? Don't lose your smile because somebody else don't smile, or 500,000 people that you meet and you're the only one that smile, and you're the only one that have a good mood, and you're the only one that have good things to say, and you're the only one that can tell a good story, and you're the only one that wants to have a good proper conversation, right? Don't lose that smile and don't lose that energy, because you're gonna have that 500,001, that 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 500,000 and first person is gonna be the person that's gonna make you realize why you never stop smiling and why you never stop being kind to yourself, because there's gonna be somebody else that's gonna be kind to themselves, and they're also gonna be kind to you as well. And you don't want to play by anybody else's rules, right? You play by the Most High's rules, or you play by the devil's rules. If I'm in the devil's playground, I'm going to be playing by God's rules, right? That means the procedures is going to be followed, but I'm going to be doing heavenly shit, right? It's gonna be like heaven. When everybody's supposed to be suffering, it's gonna look like everybody having fun in hell, when it's not supposed to be like that. But everybody's gonna be able to get what they need to get done, and progress, and the bottom line is gonna be kept, and all of that nonsense in the world and in the 3D is gonna be, is the standards of that is gonna be upheld, but the standards of the Most High and the standards of heaven is gonna be carried out, right? It's going to be like having a speakeasy, right? When it was prohibition and people couldn't make or sell alcohol, and then you had to go into a speakeasy in order to drink. You had to go into a speakeasy in order to have a good time. Well, look at that. Now you go into a bar where you usually go and you have a drink that destroys your body, but now you go into the bar and you try to have heavenly meetings and you try to have heavenly conversations, because that's usually where no cameras are at and people aren't in there trying to find out what's going on, right? So whenever you're existing in the matrix, or wherever you're existing at in this world, you have to always take heaven and always take that kindness with you, because if you don't take that kindness with you, you're not going to meet that person that's kind, because you're not kind within your heart. That's why I said you could live and and do everything that the word says in the Bible and still end up in hell, because you're not doing anything that comes out of your heart. Because what came out of somebody's heart is what went into that Bible. So wherever you go, you have to be kind to yourself first. And once you're kind to yourself, you'll inadvertently, naturally, like second nature, be kind everywhere and to everything and everyone else around you. So I'm gonna leave that right there. So if y'all like this video, if y'all like this podcast, if y'all enjoy my content, leave a like, leave a comment, share your thoughts. Let's have a conversation and let's talk about it. And if you enjoy my channel, subscribe. I like to have y'all around. Let's build. We're on the road to 500. Y'all have a lovely day, and I will see y'all soon. I'm gonna be uploading more of my video teasers. I've just been having fun with those edits, so we're gonna see where that goes. Well, we already know where it's going. So we're going to continue and see how far we can get it. Let's get it.